Hey, I'm Brandon James. I want to let you know of a couple things that have been going on and that I'm doing. But first, I need to give you a little bit of background. And that starts when I first began making things online, which was probably 2015, 2014, maybe even earlier. But during that time, I was making short videos that focused on a chapter of the Bible at a time. I figured out the math, and I figured out that if you were to do a chapter a day, plus a little additional, you could get through the entire New Testament in a year. And that was my goal. I wanted to talk about one chapter of the Bible every weekday for a year in order to get through the entire New Testament and talk about it. And I was doing it. I made it maybe half of the year, but then as you know, I was in school, I was trying to work, and I had a big move. I was moving homes. And in the process of that move, I didn't have internet access. I didn't have reliable internet when I did have the access. And so it was really hard to upload and publish videos every day, and I kind of just stopped. Since then, I've done a lot of things. I published a devotional story guide, is what I call it, in physical copy. I have been working in churches, and in working in churches, I have taken on responsibility of leading an adult Bible study. And I've been creating handouts and questions and guides that people can follow along as we look at a specific passage. And then I began to think, what am I doing this for? Like, it is very good, and I would still do this regardless of making these guides for the small group of people that we have. But I thought, if I'm putting this much work, maybe other people can benefit from this too. That's my goal, is to create a video discussing a topic or a verse or a story, and then give a guide for other people to follow along to. I'm going to be making them as videos, and I'm also going to take the audio from those videos and add it to a podcast. I don't have a specific length or even a specific structure. I'm not going to go point 1, point 2, point 3. And I'm just going to look at the text and use the resources I have available, whether that's my own education or looking at the language in the original language, or commentaries, and just talking about the section. What does it mean? What does it say? What does this mean for our lives? How do we better understand Christ? How do we better understand God in these situations? How does this impact my faith? But how can you find these is the question. How can you find these videos, and how can you find these story guides? Well, the first is Patreon. Patreon.com/Brandon James, right here. I plan to release them early on that platform, along with any other things that I upload. But Patreon is a way that you can support the project financially. So it's going to be free on there. You won't get them early free, but you'll be able to see them on that platform. And it's easy to download the guide. So that's why I chose Patreon. One, because maybe you do enjoy it, maybe you do want to financially support, but it's also an easy way to see the video and download the guide in one simple place. You can also find them on my social media, so it won't be as consistent because I'm not just going to bombard people with these projects that I do, but I will post updates and things on those sites. So you can find me on all the major social media at Brandon James, and all of these links can be found in the description of this video or this podcast. Maybe the videos and guides will help you start a Bible study of your own, or maybe it just helps you understand the Bible personally. So either way, I want you to look up these guides and these videos and use them to understand faith and your relationship with God in a new way. So that's what I have. Hopefully that all made sense. If not, just remember those links are in the description.